Evening, folks. Welcome to the Leeds View podcast. Before we get into tonight's podcast and look back at the win over Manchester United, we do have a sponsor for tonight's pod, and it is Saily from NordVPN. We're heading towards the end of the season now, so people are going to start planning their holidays for the summer, as well as potentially the US tour for Leeds this summer, as well as the game against Manchester United in pre-season. So this is where this will come in handy for you. If you are generally just traveling around Europe or around the world this summer, then you need to know about Saily. If I'm honest on this one, the amount of money I've wasted on SIM cards at kiosks and airports over the years, or just paying the exorbitant roaming charges, it's genuinely a little bit embarrassing. So basically, Saily will make all of that stuff irrelevant. It's an eSIM app with a data plans in over 200 countries. You set it up before you go. It kicks in when you land, and you've got a local data connection without any of the hassle or extortionate fees. Dead simple. And because it's built by the people behind NordVPN, the security side of things is solid too. You can activate privacy features, block ads, and all of that good stuff. One thing that I would highlight for you, that if you're taking multiple trips over the course of the summer or regional trips, check out the global and regional plans. If you are a more regular traveler, as my wife tends to be this time of the year when she's in America every couple of weeks, then there is a Saily Ultra plan for people who do travel that little bit more often. Download the Saily app in store. The link is in the description, and visit saily.com/Leeds View. If you're watching on YouTube, scan the QR code. If you're listening on the audio, check out saily.com/Leeds View and use the code Leeds View to get 15% off your first order. Right, that's that. Now let's get in and talk about Leeds United beating Manchester United. Evening, folks. Welcome to the smuggest Leeds view of this season as we digest the Leeds win against Manchester United at Old Trafford. Stitch in the house as Paul's good luck charm as he was in the preview before the game. Joined by Gerry and Paul to review the game. We are sponsored by OK Jersey for 8% off on shirts, World Cup shirts for a World Cup summer. Details for that are down below. Also part of the Sports Social Podcasting Network, as well as following us on all of our social media. If you're listening on the audio platforms, give us a follow, give us a star rate. And if you're listening on or watching on YouTube, hit subscribe and give us a like. Right, contractual obligations out of the way. And thank you for putting up with the ad read. I know people don't love them, but it is important for the channel. So thank you for that. But the lads are here. We're in a really good spot. We've had a really good night. We're all enjoying this an awful lot. And we're going to check in them. Paul, you and your emotional support teddy bear. Let's get you out of the way first. How are you, Paul?
I'm shattered.
Yeah. I slept like a baby.
I didn't. I was going through all of the fan reacts channels. I was going through all of the Man United channels. I was going through just absolutely everything. Because I was absolutely like wired beyond belief. I mean, what a night that is. I mean, you know, I don't mean to sound like I'm Nostradamus, but I said probably 2 months ago that I thought that we had an away performance in us, and it just so happens to be that performance tonight. We said we'd all talked ourselves into losing. I did say that we could go and do something really funny. Really funny. Part 1 of that 3-part really funny is complete, so we've got another 2 parts to come. Like we said just before we came on air, it counts for absolutely nothing if we don't go and now do the business at the weekend. That's the key element of it. I'm genuinely shattered. I'm genuinely shattered. I'm off for a facial later on this evening. So, right, let me explain before. Don't do that face. Don't all of
Is it
you.
even legal? I don't say
a word. Say a word.
Let me explain. I have a skin condition, and there's a lovely lady on our estate that has her own business that is looking to do some new stuff with new creams to see whether or not they work. So I put my hand up and said, I will help you out because I have sensitive skin. So that might work. So listen, do you know what? I don't care. Make of it what you will. We beat them. We beat them over the Pennines. We beat them over the Pennines. I'm off for a facial. I'm a modern man. I don't care. I'm in touch with my feminine side. You can all kiss my ass. Love you lots.
Lady in his estate, special new creams, facials.
He's going to help her out.
That didn't help. Yeah, going to help her out. That didn't help your explanation at all, Paul. But thanks.
Send me the address and I'll check it out.
We'll all head round. Yeah.
I'll need big reviews.
Gerry, how was Old Trafford last night? You were there.
Ah, what a soulless place with their half and half scarves. Oh God.
What is that about?
Well, I was parked at Tesco's nearby, and that was nice. The weekend
How is
started,
Benjamin?
Hmm?
How is Benjamin Tesco? Was he there?
It was Tesco's was okay. It was good parking. It took a while to get out, but I was just basking in the glory of it all, looking at sad Man U faces heading back to London and all over the country. Somebody had the chance said it's it's about a long way back to London when you're crap or something along those lines. But the weekend started, West Ham win 4-0, and we're going, oh God, the goal difference. And then you think you're making bargains with yourself, and then Sunday, Forest 1-1, and then Spurs, you're looking at it and you think they're dead. They're crying on the pitch and they're still in it. So you win Monday night and you're sort of thinking, don't mess up the goal difference. Just narrow defeat and we can work with this. It's not things have gone well with us, and pick a team attacking, and to a man, that was our best performance of the season. Every one of them, and those come on, and Daniel Farke and the fans. It was excellent from the start, and I think everybody's judging it from that. I think one of the things we learned is we've got a great manager, great team, and don't mess with our ponytails, because I'll tell you what, we aren't to be messed with. I must admit, I apologise to my late mum. I said the C word. And I called Fernandez a rat-faced one, and more than once. And he is in the referee's ear.
Accurate.
And I was thinking of all the people that I wanted to talk about. Eric Cantona, Oasis, Coronation Street, Happy Mondays, Men Bun Pullers, Lou McCarry's Chip Shop, which is nearby, half and half scarf. Rio Ferdinand, he doesn't know the rules, like he doesn't know when he's got appointments for drug tests. Michael Carrick, you're not going to get the job, Michael, or I hope you do. Little and large, the bloke with the megaphone who got the power because he was telling everybody to go to E20 or something, and he never shut up outside the ground. Terry Christian, it's just, was it? I think we said, was it a soft sending off? Yes, it was. Would you like it against yourself? No, but it's bloody funny, and I hope it gets rescinded, and I hope they get an apology for it. But stay off our ponytail, boy. Yeah, I think the things that Johnny Cooper's been on fire. It's 1,919 days since we beat Man United, something along those lines. Which 1919. Who was the last Leeds player to score 2 goals against Man U? Did you see that one? That's hilarious. Rocky Jr.
Rocky Jr. Sorry, in
that League Cup match. And I think Brian Flynn can now sit back and relax. Brian, you've done your business, but we're now talking about Okafor, and it was great performance. Chris Paston from the start. Yeah, we had a nervy bit, but every one of them, from Darlow with his saves, Okafor with his goals. Even Brendan ran his little legs off, and he was bashing into them and everything. And that's performance, I think, a step closer. We're not there yet, as you say. We got to do it on Saturday. Pessimist says we could be 3 points ahead of Spurs come Saturday night. The optimist says we could be 8-9 points ahead of them, 7-9 points ahead of them, and that's a hard one to pull back. We're almost there, but we got to get across the line. And as again we said, Daniel Farke, what a week he's had. First cup semi-final in 39 years. First time we beat that lot at Old Trafford in the league for 45. And this feels good. These are the moments you feel good. Somebody reminded me today in a WhatsApp, they saved this and they said, you wanted Farke on in November. And I thought, yeah, possibly. But, I hold my hands up. The guy's done well. You could see the emotion at the end. He was on his knees.
Yep.
You could see what it meant to him. And it was good. It was good. And the Leeds fans, I had to walk out, had to go to the right. I was in among the Man U fans, and they weren't happy. But somebody said, well, at least Spurs are going down. And I thought, yeah, well, fair enough, that'll do. And like you, Paul, I was up till 2 o'clock this morning watching, listening. There's that one with all those old people on the slot machines in Vague going like that, and was liking the Leeds stuff. And in the media today, the amount of people who said Leeds really deserve that. We played. Even Roy Keane was saying, it was a foul. It's in the rules. He sent off. And in the end, that actual red card gave them a boost. Didn't affect it so much, but we probably should have taken a few more chances. But these lads stepped up with injuries going into this, with lots of injuries. Stack and Rodon out till May, and Goodmanson and Okafor doubts and that, and Goodmanson again, brilliant. Justin, those headers off the line, everything. I just loved it, and I had a great time, and I'm buzzing all day, and I'm shattered, and I need to go to bed early, and get and the pressure now of getting on tomorrow and getting tickets for the semi-final, because if it's anything like the last time, it'll take 4 hours and it'll crash and everything else. So good luck, everybody. We'll see you at Wembley and Bournemouth.
Yeah, we got our tabs. We got our tabs all open for tomorrow, trying to get tickets for Wembley. Yeah, look, incredible night, loads to talk about. But you're right. My favourite moment, Gary Neville's comments just before Okafor put his laces through the ball. Go, Leeds need to do something with this goal. Couldn't have said it any better. Brendan Aronson, by the way, has gone through a bit of a slump recently in form. Not only did he cover an awful lot of ground last night, he's involved in the build-up to the first goal. It's his lovely pass to Jayden Bogle. And then for the second goal, he's just running around that penalty area, trying to get on the end of the ball as it bounces and gets his little head to it and flicks it back to Okafor, who gets the volley. So, again, Daniel Farke got it bang on last night. We're talking about looking for Daniel Farke to go in November. This is a different Leeds United approach. This is a different Leeds United setup than it was then. And he's done the right things. And you said this year loads. Criticise him when he deserved criticising. And he deserved criticising at that time. It wasn't good enough. 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3 was not working. The tippy-tappy stuff out from the back was getting us killed against the sides, and it was going the wrong way. Something needed to change. And since that change against Manchester City, we had a little bit of a wobble. The form is temporary. And me and Paul talked about it before the game yesterday on the preview show, where we said, if you ignore the league form and just look at the game-to-game form coming into it, Leeds had 2 wins and 2 draws in the last 4 games. And momentum was momentum. And that carried in. We wanted to see Daniel Farke go in with an attacking lineup. In our predictions videos, I think I predicted Leeds to draw against Manchester United. When the injuries were called out, I thought, we're losing this. You didn't, Paul. You said, we're going to nick something here. And I laughed at you. I went, and then we go and do it. And we got the injured players back. But not only that, the 3 specifically, Paul, Gabby Goodmanson trained twice, a couple of times this week, but more than the rest of the lads. Yakubu trained for 2 days. Okafor trained for 2 days. The 3 of them were massively important in this game. Gabby, a couple of moments in the first half where Gabby wasn't tracking Ahmed back quickly enough and left gaps. Sorted it out in the second half. His attack play was excellent. Jayden Bogle, prime Roberto Carlos on the right-hand side, as Sinead said. Yakubu keeps Benjamin Tesco to absolutely nothing. Again, add him to the list of strikers he's slain this season. And now Okafor, who is just popping up in big matches with big moments for Leeds this season. Excellent. The 3 of them specifically, with the minimum amount of time of training and the injuries coming into this game, were massively important in this game. And that shows you how we were all a little bit concerned should they have missed out on this. But they did a huge game.
Yeah, we always say the thing is when people are given opportunities within this team, what we want to see players do is to step up and take those opportunities and run with it and trying to be positive with it. I firmly believe, and I will die on this hill, had Okafor not been injured for a month, I think we would be safe. I genuinely think we'd be safe now. Genuinely. And I know it's not about one-man team, this, that, and the other. What I've seen from Okafor is a player that's really, really transformed since the start of the season. A player that's gone from just being that attacking player, but gets back and helps out and gets through a sheer volume of work. And you've got to remember, this is probably the most football that Okafor has played for 2 or 3 seasons. In terms of output, physical output for him, and he's been absolutely brilliant, and he is different class. He is just been different class. And then you look at Biol, and you and I both said our biggest concern yet. Rodon not being here is damaging, but Justin can come in and he can do a job. Justin, unsung hero by the way, booked in the first half, manages to keep it under control for the remainder of the game.
Great booking together.
Very, very good booking. But just Biol just being there just sets the tone for everybody. I mean, Strauch as well. He just turns everybody around him into better footballers because he's so calm, he's so assured. He's a big unit, he's physical, he's strong. The only one time that he got out thingied by Mr. Tesco was when at the start of the second half, he got round him, the ball kind of spooned up, but Justin was there to head it off the line. So everybody was still doing their jobs. Gabby Goodman, I don't know what he gets fed, but his engine is it's on another level. I've watched like highlight videos and stuff and everything of the match last night as well, just to try and get a bit of a better flavour for it. And some of his attacking runs, some of his movement is just it's on a different level. And the amount that we paid for him, that left back position, it's ridiculous. Jayden Bogle. Well, I mean, Sheffield United fans telling us how bad it is. You've now got Sheffield United fans admitting, where was this Jayden Bogle when we were in the Premier League? We've just the people that came in last night that needed to help us out as a team, and I put Ao Tanaka into that one as well. Just how good was Tanaka last night? He just nuts. The way he, and I'm sorry, I know I've gone on to different players now as well, but he
continue.
Yes, he should have scored, but the keeper's really, really close to him. So what he should have done with the ball, and it's easy to say in hindsight, when the ball comes to his left foot, he should have just hit it straight away. If he passes it, it's in. But because the keeper's so close to him, he has to bring it under control again. He has to, and it's almost an instinctive thing to bring it under control. But what a game he had. Just an incredible game he had for me. Just brilliant. And it just backs up what we said. He's got to play for the remainder of the season. And maybe, with what Farke said, that is true of Al. It's maybe there is a confidence thing with him. Maybe he has been thinking, I'm not good enough. Maybe he's got where he sees himself being able to do, and he's not been able to do what he wants to do. So his confidence has been a little bit low. But then he gets them 2 games against Japan, comes in against West Ham, comes in again tonight, and looks 4 games on the spin in short succession. It's amazing how different he looks as a player. And I said it in my review video last night. If people are saying that we're selling him for 10 million at the end of the season, now triple that, absolutely triple that.
Something else you said in your review video as well is, and it was directed to Ao Tanaka himself, if you ever have a crisis again where you think you're not good enough for this team in this division, check yourself again. You absolutely are good enough for this league. He looks absolutely at home on it. I mean, this was a guy brought in as a central defensive midfielder like Anton Schleck, and has given Leeds so much from an attacking perspective as well. Yeah. His speed of switching to play, like one of my criticisms of Ethan Ampadu all season, by the way, I think he was excellent last night. Again, ridiculous. By the way, he's had a great season. But one of my criticisms of Ethan Ampadu, when he's feeling himself a little bit too much, is he likes to take a couple of touches on the ball in the middle of the park and can slow the game down. When it goes into Tanaka in the centre of the park, like we saw against West Ham, it is out of his feet across to the far side of the pitch immediately to keep that ball moving quickly. And his transitional play for Leeds has been fantastic. So, yeah, I thought he was great last night. Dominic Calvert-Lewin should score twice last night. Should score twice. Not a maybe. He's in too good a position not to score the first minute, and in the second half, the header. They both have to go into the back of the net. But he makes up for it with 2 phenomenal clearances back-to-back off the line. Yeah. Like, everyone's talking about the header off the line, but he blocks the follow-up shot as well, which is going into the net. So, and the work rate that he got through last night up front, winning the headers, holding the ball up, running the channels, just pressure. The press in the first half for me was absolutely fantastic to see. Not only Tanaka nicking the ball off their 6, but Ampadu doing it as well in the build-up to the second goal. So they were all on it last night. It was an attacking team. Gerry, we've said all year, I'm going to hold us to this. This team is a better side when they go at teams. When we sit back, we can look incredibly average. Daniel Farke last night must have looked at the results over the weekend and thought, I've nothing to lose here. No one's expecting anything. Why not? And he went for it last night. And that was a hell of a performance in the first half.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been surprised if Gruev was in there, or he'd picked that defensive team, and you accept that goal trap. But yeah, when he saw the team, he thought, yeah, we are going for it. And just everything you say about the players from the first touches, I mean, Goodmanson and on the wing, the touches, the crisp pass, and everything about it was good to watch the press when it broke down. We got it back. I think Pascal must be doing Pilates or yoga or something. The amount of time he stretched his leg yesterday and got blocks in and everything, and that ball from Bogle from the first minute into Calvert-Lewin. I mean, the keeper was well positioned. It was close in. The header probably couldn't get the power into it, but and Tanaka I thought was a fantastic tackle on the line as well.
Yeah.
But
it was.
Everything you said, Tanaka, you just look when he gets to, I love the way he just changes direction. Just as a non-tactical person who just likes watching. He gets the ball and he just turns. Changed the whole sphere of the game, and the passing and that. I was a bit worried when we were doing that Ole bit because that's too early. It's too early. Don't. But we were totally in control, and they had their flashes. But overall, when you look back at the game, when the stress is out of you, think, we played really well last night. We deserved everything we got. It would have been a travesty if we hadn't got a win. And even the subs coming on, I thought Willie was controlled. He held it a couple of times. He
killed it when he had
burst
to
forward. And there was one he lost control and they went in the attack, but he was controlled. He was looking around if he had to play it back. And I think you have the Okafor. We know he doesn't go 90 minutes, as you say, Paul. He's got that unpredictability where he'll attack someone, run at someone, which they don't like. And then when he's done in 60, 70 minutes, Willie's coming on, and Willie's causing them hassle as well. Calvert-Lewin just battered them. He was throwing himself at it. And that hurt, but he could have been killed. That's how dangerous that was, the whole thing. And the whole team, I just Darlow pulled off a couple of great saves. Yeah, and he's been doing that since he came in. Really, he's I think there was I just wish they wouldn't do the passing around at the back. They didn't make a mistake. It's driving me mad. I love a good long boot, even if it was into the stand. And he did hit one, which could have been a brilliant assist. I think it was to Bogle, and Bogle was heading through, and there was chances we could have done better with. Yeah, it was, and I think we should have been doing more of that to them, because as Man United goes, and you look at some of the teams that had that, they're bloody average, but it's Old Trafford, and we don't care really. They're a good enough team. They're probably worth hundreds of millions more than our team. And I wouldn't swap. I don't think I'd swap anybody in their team. I really wouldn't. I'm quite happy with what we've got. And I think now, if we stay up, I think you look at what's around. You look at other teams. You look at what's coming up. There'll be weaker Championship teams. West Ham have got a lot of financial trouble. Bournemouth losing their manager. This is a chance for us to establish ourselves. And it just feels nice. I love them all. Longstaff's back. I'm glad to see him back as well.
Yeah.
We've got a strong bench. Yeah, good stuff.
Not sure what he did when he came on, Longstaff. He just
don't know, but he's there. He's an option.
He's doing his favorite Joe Pirou impression, just kind of in and around things. But there's Longstaff. Then what's he doing? Don't know. He's there though. There's Longstaff again.
He's big.
Yeah, look, they've all played a part this season. They absolutely have. The word that I keep coming back to the entire time, and Paul, we talk about this to death, is character.
Yep.
Like, they don't know when they're down. There's a surprise in them. They don't shirk responsibility. You go back to the side, Paul, that got relegated 3 years ago, and you look at the absolute biscuit quality spine that side had. That just any time it got a little bit pressurized, buckled. Straight away, they buckled. And you look at this side, and they're 2-man. Yeah, I'll have a crack at this. We talked about the maturity in Willie Nanto last week to say, I'm not playing. But it hasn't been possible. But we're all up for this, and we're all going to keep going. So that's great to see. The lads that aren't involved, Lucas Perry coming in for the FA Cup game, saying that football is a bizarre world, and he comes into the FA Cup and does his bit in that, and then Carl Darlow comes back in for this and does his bit. Just absolutely every single one of them. James Justin just goes in. What's something to do? Yeah, no problem. Go in and do it. I enjoy this team so much, and they put some beautiful phases of play together last night as well. There were some lovely passing patterns, triangles passing around Manchester United, making them chase things. The press again, I go back to that. I thought it was brilliant. There was so much to love. Now, the second half, let's not have a complete fan fest here. The second half, Paul.
Yeah.
It got a little squeaky, but we knew that they would come at us.
Yep.
They are third in the table. They've got a phenomenal record at home in the last 5, 6, 7 games. Incredible run. They bring in Brian Mbermo, who I think is an absolutely
I love
fantastic
him.
footballer. I hate the
Love
fact that he wears their jersey because I enjoyed him at Brentford as well. I think he's a fantastic footballer and he's dangerous and direct. Again, all the Okafor things. But we knew they were going to come at us and we had to hold off. The only criticism I had is nobody was marking Casemiro on the back post a couple of times. But Daniel Farke alluded to that in the press conference afterwards as well. And he said we were probably a bit too compact at the wrong time. We weren't aware and we need to be more aware. But that's the only criticism I have was just if we stopped Fernandez putting the ball in the box and we stopped we marked Casemiro, they didn't really create anything else that was any real significance. Bar that Sesko bobble through.
Yep.
But again, it was defended well. So again, we've gone back to the West Ham game as well, and we talked about the fact there was 2 moments in that game where we switched off. But outside of that, didn't get a lick on us in front of the penalty area. So defensively as well as offensively last night, that side were fantastic.
Yeah, I love. I mean, I used to. I progressed to midfield when I was when I went out from being like school days to then schoolboy. Sorry, to then when it got to get a little bit older, and I played. Even though I'm only 5'10" now, so you can imagine how short I was. I played central defence. That was my position all the way out through school. So I have a certain affinity for central defenders in the way that they play, and. Just to mention it, I sent you, and I don't know if you've got slides of it or not. If not, fine. But the stat zone stuff that I sent you, with the information on in particular, I wanted to highlight Strauch in this. When you want to be able to trust your defenders to be able to do a job, so that's your midfield being able to trust your defenders to deal with the situation, and your keepers also being able to trust your defenders to deal with the situation as well, just to calm everything down. 90 minutes last night, 98% passing accuracy, 4 recoveries, 6 clearances last night for Strauch. And and he is one of our own players when you look at him. And you look at the defence, one of the key things that's been really helpful for us has been our defence. And that starts off with the players at the front as well. But our defence has been phenomenally good, and I know a lot of people have derided the recruitment and could we have bought players in January, could we have done X, Y and Z and bought this, that and the other, but when you look at it, players that we've got for the defence side of stuff, we just talked about him. Justin just plays wherever you want him to play. You've got Bogle, who is just reliable, full of energy. You've got Goodmanson, who can absolutely do a phenomenal job, and then you've got Joe Rodon, who is just made of titanium. It's so rare that he's actually injured. It's unbelievable. You've got Strauch, who is just such a cultured footballer. Yeah, a lot of people put slanderous stuff on him and this, that, and the other. He plays so much better in the 3. As soon as we switch to playing the 3 central defenders, he plays so much better. Jesus, I was padding that out, Joe. I was wondering how long that was going to take.
Sorry, Pop. We're getting lined up properly. Sorry.
He plays.
You're doing a great job, though.
That's fine. He plays so much better in the 3, and then you've got the Slovenian king that is Biol, and we've got a group of defenders who are capable of shutting teams down and snuffing out the problems. And you have to mention Darlow in that as well. Darlow has been brilliant. I mean, he's talking himself into a contract extension towards the end of this season. He absolutely is.
It shouldn't have to. It should be a minimum. Just give him an extension.
Proved himself in the Premier League.
You look at James Justin, 8 clearances, 4 recoveries, 87% passing accuracy, 84% passing accuracy for Biol, 3 tackles, 8 clearances. You look at Darlow.
Pascal Strauch, 98% passing accuracy.
That's absolutely. And listen, and I know a lot of people going, "Oh, you've been trying to." I don't care. It's an accurate pass. He's not losing the ball.
I don't sound like that.
I'm not talking about you. I don't
sound like that.
You know what I mean? But if you can get the defense side of it right, it makes everything else so much easier. Because if we're difficult to, and this was the thing, I had a Manchester fan on one of my videos, and he said that the FA Cup was going to be a distraction for us because our heads are going to be in the cloud because of that, and that they will easily put 4, maybe 5 past us. Mark Goldbridge, hilarious watching his first goal reaction, by the way. Mark Goldbridge, Mark Goldbridge saying, "Oh, I think this is an easy win for us. We'll win probably 4 or 5-0." And it's just like, where are you getting that from? Because the only team that's actually, when you look at it, that's outplayed us completely played us off the park, the only team that's done that this season is Arsenal. Other than that, it's been the odd goal that we've lost by. And looking at again, I can feel myself getting energized again because I'm talking about it, that's a false economy for me because I'll end up collapsing at some point. But just seeing what these guys are capable of and just seeing what they can, like, it's that collectiveness as a team, it's that togetherness as a team, it's that identity, and that's the key thing. This team has an identity,
Yeah, it does.
and that never say die, that never give up attitude, and you can't be anything other than proud of what you saw last night. You can't be anything other than proud of what you saw last night.
No, not at all. Gerry, when you look at the current run of form and the block of four that we tend to look at, that we've looked at for the last 3 or 4 weeks with the sides that are down there around us, you talked about this before we came on. If you're West Ham, you must be banging your head off a wall going, what do we have to do to get back to less than 4 points behind them?
Yeah.
But they're out of the relegation zone. We're now 6 ahead of Spurs. And if you look at the run of form, those 2 draws that Leeds had, again, I go back to bowling and talk about spares and strikes combinations. Those 2 points were going to be worth something if Leeds could get a win. They got a win. Now it's 5 and 3, which sounds a hell of a lot better than 2 and 3. You look at West Ham United, 4 in their last 3. Nottingham Forest, 5 in the last 3. Spurs, 1 in their last 3. And they have to go and play Brighton, deserve result side. Forest have got Burnley, and West Ham United have got to go away to Crystal Palace. We've Wolverhampton Wanderers at home. So we're going into this weekend again, looking at the table going, Jesus, we actually extended our gap over the bottom 3, and that's got to be a huge amount of confidence for this side. But it's also got to make the sides looking to try and drag us into it, going, what do we have to do to drag these boys in?
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, West Ham, their form has been probably top 7, top 6, top 7 in the last few weeks, and they look as if they may have enough to pull out. And if you're a Tottenham fan, you were just. I was listening to Paul Hawksby on Talk Sport yesterday, Hawksby and Jacobs, and he I like him. He was saying, well, it's just between Spurs and Leeds now, and for the last bit. And he did, in fairness to him today, he stumped up. He says, "Yeah, I'm totally wrong about that. Leeds, there's no problem with Leeds, and we are gone." And you look at Tottenham at the end of the game, they're all slumped down, crying and everything. You think you've got 4 games left, and you're still in it, but they look shot. And I think the order of the games this weekend is important because we'll be first up. I think West Ham are West Ham playing this? No, they're Monday night. Forest are Sunday, and Spurs are 5:30 kickoff. So if we can beat Wolves, which we're expected to, but we know that football does funny things. If we win that game, that's a big statement, and those other teams are looking at us as if to say, "Well, forget about them." It reminds me when we were up against Everton a few years ago, and they won a couple of games and they were gone. They were out of it. When Forest a few years ago, when we got relegated, they were playing Arsenal, and you thought, well, this is the game, and they won it, and your heart sinks, and it goes right through the club. I think when we're talking about the squad as well, just go back on that. What's important, I remember when we got promoted under Howard Wilkinson, and we had players come in who were in the squad. Chris Kamara crossed that ball to Lee Chapman at Bournemouth. Chris Kamara wasn't a regular. Mike Whitlow, players like this who are in the squad, bit of character, come in and do the job. And we've got that again. We've got a good, decent lads, and they're up for it. So and you look at those games to come. West Ham, it's a tricky one now that they've got all of a sudden. You look to the Wolves, Everton pushing for Europe, Brentford pushing for Europe, form teams, Arsenal bottling it, but you should win that one. Even looking at ours, by the time we play Spurs, that may be a dead rubber for us. That's really tempting fate, but it's very possible, very possible. And these next 2 games for us again. By this time next Wednesday we go to Bournemouth. Could be done. Could be done. But no, in Leeds we could lose both games and we're back in it. Who knows? But it's the momentum's with us.
There is that. There's every opportunity that could happen, and that's why
we look silly.
I think a lot of us are making a point of saying the job isn't done yet. Yes, we need to bask in this. Yes, we need to be absolutely basking in the glory and happy about it and everything. But the job isn't done yet. And just as an interesting point in terms of, I think Gerry was just talking about form and everything. Since January the 1st, this came from Andy Marshall on X. I think I sent it to you, Ger, but since the 1st of January till now, Leeds have accrued 19 points. West Ham have accrued 18 points. Forest have accrued 15 points. Wolves have accrued 14 points. Burnley, 8 points. Spurs, 5. So,
Thankfully, thankfully
That's
that's something that I don't have. That's okay. I didn't mess that one up. That's okay.
That's
Yeah, but it is. But the question, I think I always looked at, as I thought, look, De Zerbi has got probably a couple of wins in him with this side.
Yeah.
But you're talking about, and again, and we've talked about it for weeks as well, we're counting down now, not up. We're counting about what's left. And you're looking at it, and again, I'll throw it back up on the screen, Paul, and you look at what they have to come. And they might get results in these, but there's pressure now attached to all of these. They're home to Brighton. They're away to Wolves. There's two that they should be looking at and going, if we're going to get some wins, it's going to be those two. We have to win those two. Then they're away to Aston Villa, home to us, away to Chelsea, home to Everton. Like, those last 2 games of the season could be nervy for them as well. But from a West Ham perspective, you're out of trouble. But now you got to go away to Crystal Palace, home to Everton, away to Brentford, home to Arsenal, away to Newcastle. That's not easy. Forest will have Burnley this weekend, but then they're away to Sunderland and then away to Chelsea on the bounce, home to Newcastle, away to Manchester United.
That is a disgusting block of games, by the way.
Yeah.
It is. But again, and we've said it, and we need to be consistent with it. And we're not the overly happy clapper versions of Leeds United podcast. We happy clap a little bit, but not overly. We do have to be realistic and go, this result against Manchester United counts for absolutely nothing unless we go and beat Wolves.
Yep.
That's it. Yep. Because then that strikes fear into everybody else in the league going, they're out. They're gone. You're gone. You're down to now, what? 1, 2, 3, 5 games left. Potential of 5 wins, 3 wins behind them. So now Leeds have to lose 3 games and we have to win 3 games to turn this around to catch them. That has to be the goal. Then you've got to go away to Bournemouth. They showed against Arsenal, they're no slouches. That's not going to be straightforward either. But if you can get a point there and then Burnley again, I have said this for weeks, 7 points in those 3 games, we're done.
Yeah,
we are done.
Because
then you've got 9 points available left, and you're probably more than 9 points clear at that stage. So you've got to go and finish the job. We're not dancing on tables, as Daniel Farker would say. Enjoy this moment, but he will be the most realistic person of any of them in that camp right now, saying, enjoy tonight. We work again tomorrow and we get back at it again. We have still got a job to do. And we've seen it with the result at Chelsea. We beat Chelsea. You look at all the good results we've got away from home. Against bigger sides. Drawing Liverpool twice, beating Chelsea, now beating Scum. They're all great, but you can't then go and lose to Sunderland and just take that away. These are the ones that we have to go and win, because these are the ones that will dictate that table. We beat Wolves, they're done. They're gone. We beat Burnley, they're gone. Like, we can relegate 2 sides in the next 3 weeks. Let's do that and keep ourselves in the division at the exact same time and let the rest worry about it. But we have got to absolutely take this into the next match. It is not a given that we're going to beat Wolverhampton Wanderers at home. There is work to do, and they have to go and show up in that match. And they have to do it to Wolves, what West Ham did to Wolves. And by the way, I didn't think West Ham were that good that night either. But they still put 4 past.
Wolves capitulated, didn't they?
Yeah, they capitulated in the second half.
They started well. Started well, and they've had that in them. But you think maybe Wolves had that little boost. They were on a good run. They beat Liverpool, and they were playing well. They knew they were down anyway. But you just hope that they've had that little flourish. But I think the most important thing is we score early, and I think that's the most important thing. And I don't doubt that the performance will. I don't, the performance won't drop. I'm sure of that. I think these guys are tuned in, and I think it's such a boost for us last night, and I think that'll carry them on. And they must look at the table and think, we've got it. Yeah. We've got it. Yeah, we've got this in our own hands, and let's go and finish it. If you're chasing, it's a different story, because like West Ham, if you win a game and you think great, and then you look above you and say, oh, everybody's picked up points, and we're going again. We're going again. So I want to be beginning of May. I want to be last match and match of the day. Incidental don't really matter. There's nothing on it. Game, and we're just enjoying ourselves, and Bunna Nutties out there scoring hat tricks. Yeah, I have a feeling he's got a moment in him. There's a moment for Buonanotte this season that he's going to come on and do something and just join the party. That's my hope. Yeah, that he does. We release him from prison. Yeah.
Be a Sanchez Watt. Come in and have a moment. That's your moment.
Sanchez Watt. Yeah.
God,
You heard that story about. You've heard that story about Sanchez Watt, haven't you? When he said he was playing in a non-league game, and the referee asked him what was his name, and he said Watt 4 times, and the referee sent him off. That's a true story. That's a true story. I remember he scored against, I think it was MK Dons. I'm sure that was the game. Yeah, Sanchez Watt. Yeah. Great days, those. Enjoyed.
He's always a player in the League One promotion picture. You're going, who the hell is that? Who's your who's that guy? Sanchez Watt. Yeah.
Michael Doyle. Oh God, that was good team. That was a good team when up to the Premier. If only.
Did you see? Did you see the video as well of the Man U fan that was giving our head of fitness guy, the really tall guy with, I forget what his name is. He was giving him dog's abuse the entire game, and at the end of the game, the fitness guy came over, shook his hand, and gave him Brendan Aronson's shirt at the end of the game as a for the Man U fan to take away, which I just thought was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, he probably wore it, knowing them. Yeah, that's the way to react, isn't it? Yeah, you can be classy when you're winning. Yeah, it's great.
Can be classy and be classy. Take the high ground. I haven't reached out to any of my friends that are Manchester United fans. I've left them all alone. They'd be the first people to come after me if they won, but I didn't say a word because moral high ground. I don't need to prove anything.
My next door neighbour's a Man U fan, and about just before Man U got their goal, he sent me a text message going, "I hate football." Message back going, "I'm loving it at the moment." In all honesty, it's
quite that message.
My next door neighbour's a Newcastle fan. He says, "Don't mess this up." Yeah, and the Man U fans, a couple of them I know, they're quite respectful. We don't go in hard on each other. It's and I would never. I wasn't going to get a bottle with Man U written on it and drinking it for their tears. That was funny. That guy's gone viral, hasn't he? Yeah.
He has gone viral.
No Rockefeller song, by the way, that was sung on the top of the double-decker bus last night was absolutely really. So he's now got his own song, and it's actually brilliant. Can't remember it off the top of my head.
Yeah,
but
I think I saw. Yeah,
scoring in, and then it go about how that Man U are shite. It just really never seen a player like Okafor. It's just really, really good. Just very, very good. I watched the square ball last night as well, and they were as dumbfounded as Eddie. Just watching them, and it's just like, what do we do? What do we do?
I can't wait for propaganda. I cannot wait for propaganda.
It's going to be so good. It's going to be absolutely hilarious. I know that they got into something about fingering pockets, and it's something to do with Michael's wife, which was just brilliant. That was if you haven't watched it, you have to see that little bit, because that was the point where Dan just completely lost it. By that point, he just had enough. He just went, right, we're being silly now. We need to stop this.
Yeah. Remember these moments, because funny enough, I was thinking about them, and I remembered their first match reaction, which was after the Derby game, the playoff. And funny enough, I switched on the other day on Sky randomly, and they were showing it. And it's those, as I said to someone last night, these are the best moments because you remember the hurt. And that's, if your kids are 7 or 8 and they think this happens all the time, just show them a few videos and think, this can be bad sometimes as well. But that's why we enjoy these moments. Because they're bloody special. Yeah.
My wife always says, I don't know why you support a team that winds you up as much as they do. Because when they do something good, it's so worth it. Like, you go through all that crap, but when you get that moment, like being in Ellen Road for us winning the final home game of the season last year and confirming the title, like that will stay with me for the rest of my life. There have been moments constantly.
There'll be moments when you get an axis of incompetence like Weston McKennie and Mark Rocca. There's just teams like people like that.
I remember being at Ellen Road for that game with the promotion party game, if you like, where they all came out and everything. I was lucky enough to be at Ellen Road when we won 6-0. I was lucky enough to be at Ellen Road. I've been lucky enough to be at Ellen Road a lot this season. I've seen us beat Chelsea. I've seen us beat Chelsea. Not just beat Chelsea, but batter Chelsea. And it's just, and it's so true. And this is something that people that don't watch football or don't have a team that they really, really love will never ever understand. No. We'll never get it. I felt physically sick last night when we scored. When we scored the first goal. Didn't know what
Too
to do
early.
with myself. I went, right, what do we do? Christ, if we try and hold on to this is going to be dreadful for the entire time. And then, we carry on playing really, really well. And then you get a red card and think, oh my God, this might actually happen. And even though they're down to 10 men, they score, and then you go, well, that's it. Leeds are just going to do a Leeds thing, aren't they? And then the remaining like 10 minutes was, I'm just like, just press, just ring the bell, blow the whistle, please do something, because I need to explode with this happiness and excitement, because it doesn't feel
7
real.
minutes of injury time.
Yeah. I have to say though, I know a lot of the decisions went with us last night with the sending off and that, but I thought the referee took no crap. He booked your man Cunha for diving, and I thought there was a few challenges either way that let go, and I thought the sending off the side, whatever you think, I thought it was fair. But it's funny your perception if you lose and you think he was rubbish. But I thought one of the better refereeing performance this season.
Yeah, I think it was good.
I think considering what we've gone through this year with the stroke penalty claim and the apology against Sunderland, the independent panel telling us Gabby Goodmanson should have been sent off, the handball against Manchester City, the other incidents this year. There's been numerous of them this year where Daniel Farke has more often than not, bar that one time when he got sent off and he shouldn't have been sent off. But that one time, outside of that, he has always managed to keep us cool, even in the worst scenarios, and go, look, I shouldn't talk about this, or his usual, I'm not going to talk about this, and then goes off and talks about it, and then finishes up by saying, I don't want to talk about it. There's always that. Michael Carrick having a full whingy meltdown last night. Bruno Fernandes meltdown last night. You're like, I admire what Farke has done in those moments, because when you get these moments, you can go, yeah, we deserve this, because we've been through it this year. We've had our moments. We've been robbed this year. We could have beaten Crystal Palace only before we went down to 10 men. We should have been a goal up against Sunderland because of a penalty that we never got. That would have been a different game as well. That could have changed our entire season. So, when it goes your way, you're like, yeah, do you know what? I feel like we deserve this. Yeah, the red card is incredibly soft. No, I wouldn't like to see it given against my side, but you know what? I don't care. No. I don't care, because we've had all these decisions go against us this season, and finally they've gone our way, and it's about time. So we can take it, we can enjoy it. So put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Very much. No, I agree with you. Do you know what it is as well? I think we've dealt with certain situations as a team. Outwardly, us fans haven't, because that's the way that we're allowed to say what we want to say. But
we're traumatized.
Yeah, but I feel like the team as a whole, so Farke and the boys and everything, they've dealt with certain situations like that with a lot of class and a lot of dignity. And I know we
speak well. They really speak well. Yeah.
We've all complained about us not doing the dark arts enough, about us not being maybe a little bit as sneaky as this, that, and the other.
Last night,
but I know I was enjoying that last night. There's been a concerted uptick in our dark-heartedness over the last few games as well, which has been quite good to see, because sometimes you just have to play the game, and for last night was probably a little bit of just rewards for us, or for the team and the manager sucking it up a little bit. That's been really good to see.
I wonder when the last time Dominic Calvert-Lewin ever went to a grown adult and went, he just pulled my hair. I'd love to know when that was. He has to tell the referee.
None of us could say. I mean,
not a long time. Yeah, a very long time. But Paul, again, I watched your review today, Paul. By the way, very emotional review. Really enjoyed it, mate. Got my heart in the sleeve. It was excellent. But one thing that stood out to me was, and you were bang on the money, every time Fernandes lobstered his way over to the referee, Ampadu was like, "You all right there, Paul? You all right?
Yeah.
What's up? What's wrong with you now?" And he was just, every time he was there, every single time. And I was like, I love that. That's good, man. And then again, James Justin, I could win the ball here, or I could flatten you into an advertising board, and I'll do that instead. Yeah. Thank you very much.
It's great tackle.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good. We wanted to see it last night. We wanted to see that this Leeds side got what this game was all about more than their lads did.
Yeah.
Their lads did. Fernandes, go back to the captains going up against each other. Go back to battles in midfield, Roy Keane versus David Batty, where they absolutely kicked lumps out of each other. The 50-50s between those two were like worlds colliding. Like the ball would break, and you knew they're going to fly into this on the ground, and no one's pulling out, and they just nail each other, get up and get on with it. And then you look at Bruno Fernandes last night getting touched, Cunha falling over, Casemiro, the hard man that he is, rolling around on the ground every time someone brushed off his shoulder, and you're going, oh my God, you guys have fallen far, haven't you, in that sense? And then you look at the Leeds lads just throwing themselves. Brendan Aronson flying into slide tackles to make sure he won the ball. Yeah. The softest of all the Leeds players.
Winning headers.
Winning headers. Putting himself in positions to get hurt. And I loved that. And that was great. And yeah, every single one to a man got that last night. And that's where the result comes from. Again, I always say it, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And they outworked them last night. And they got their results. They deserve this. So it's huge. It's 3 points that none of us banked on. We're a step closer to our goals of staying in the Premier League. And then we got a really big summer if we do stay there, because the spine of this team, the foundation of this team is really, really good. Now let's add a flair to this, and we could really start to push on. Job not done. I know that I'm getting carried away with myself, as I tend to when things are going well.
We could tweak this. There's enough there. Just add to what we've got. And
your instant match reaction last night was phenomenal as well, because you were, I know that you were talking at like 800 miles an hour. It was so like
fast. I know,
you were sat there going, just bear with me, I'm a little bit excited, I don't know what to do with myself, I don't know what to do. You were like full on stimming. It was incredible to watch. It was really, really funny.
Usually on our watch alongs over and big up, we score a goal, I kind of do commentary on it, and then we'll get a goal and I'll go, ball goes in, goal, right? That's tends to be my normal reaction. I'll say goal, right? I don't know why I do, but that's my reaction. Last night it went into pure that's all it was me just doing that every time we scored. And at the end of the game, before I did the instant match reaction, I said to myself, I need to go for a walk, but I didn't have time because we're jumping straight on. But I wanted to go out the back garden and just go just that's how excited I was. It was that aggressive kind of, I need to shake something now to get this out of my system. And instead I had to sit in front of a camera for 30 minutes and try and articulate what the hell I was feeling.
There's a guy that stands in the road with us, and he never says a word. Never. I don't think I've spoken to him over the last 10 years. I hugged him last night, and we had. I'm tactile when
at a moment.
I do. I absolutely do know.
But we hugged, and
we've all been there.
He smiled, and it was nice. Nice moment.
Yeah. Yeah, we've all shared a hug on this podcast with each other. So we get it. We have.
Yeah.
Right. We'll wind it down, folks. Massive thanks as always for joining us tonight. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, Saily from NordVPN. You can check out OK Jersey as well if you want to. And thanks for putting up with the ad read. It's the last week of it for this week, so I really do appreciate it. And thanks to the lads for joining me as always. You can check out Paul at the Leeds Therapy. You can check Gerry. Remind me the name. Talking Leeds, is it?
Talking Leeds podcast. Yeah, and I wouldn't have missed this pod for the world tonight.
Not this one.
I was looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah. People last night said when I use pod and want to get on that. It's like So you can check Gerry at Talking Leeds as well. Both channels will be linked down below. You can check them out if you want to. And also OK Jersey, 8% off in your basket for World Cup shirts for a World Cup summer. I've gotten a couple of shirts from them as well. I'll show you over the course of the week as well. But because they're really good. Check out the Instagram account if you want to see more of that as well. These are really good quality. Order a size up. Yeah, always order size up. Outside that, have a great rest of your day, evening, or nighttime, whenever you're watching this. And I'll be back tomorrow morning for more Leeds news. See you later. Bye.